Okay, great. So come and lie down onto your back, and that's where we'll start. So bring your soles of the feet together and take your knees out wide and just rest your hands onto the belly, rest your head back and shoulders down. So like the shoulders are weighted and they're pulling down into the yoga mat. Same with the knees. You want the knees to move out. And then take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. And just close your eyes so you're not distracted by what's going on in the room. You don't need to look at the screen yet. You need to see what's happening. Just slow down the breath. Let the heart rate slow down. Just let the body settle. If you've been rushing around today to get to practice, then just really take a few moments to stop and to just notice how the body feels, where you might want to push or open the knee, and where you know that you need to back off and be slightly careful. Listening to all the cues to engage and really strengthen rather than just dropping into areas that you're more flexible or more open. So really thinking about the areas you're trying to stretch or strengthen. 3 more big breaths, let the belly rise. And then feel the belly fall as you exhale. Feel the belly rise, breath in. Belly fall, breath out. 1 more. Exhale. And then just take the hands to the outside of the thighs, close the gap between the knees, plant the feet to the floor, arms down by the side. Just tuck your tailbone under and lift your hips up towards the sky. So push your feet down, lift the hips up. So you're trying to engage and strengthen through the backs of the legs. 1 long straight line from shoulders to the hips to the knees. So you are trying to really lengthen and open already through the front of the hips. Squeeze and engage through the glutes so the back of the body is strong. Keep the breath soft. So a soft, more relaxed breath. You're not stressing and using the neck and the shoulders to breathe, but there's just an easy breath. So no force, no strain. And then slowly roll the spine down to the floor, carefully, slowly lowering it down. And then just cross your right leg over your left leg. So bring it all the way over like you're sitting on a chair. Wrap that leg all the way over. Take the arms out wide and then rock both knees over to the left, gaze to the right. So that first big twist through the spine. Trying to move the knees over to the left and let that right shoulder sink down. You look over to the right side of the room. So it's this big, long stretch through the right side of me. And then slowly come back through center and just go the other way. So release the right foot, big step over with the left leg. Let both knees fall to the right and gaze to the left. So you're trying to pull that left shoulder down. Really stretch through the side body. Trying to take the knees as far over as you can. And then come back to center. Bring the knees into the chest. Just release that cross. Take your right hand onto your right knee, left hand onto your left knee, and just draw independent circles. So just massage into the hips. Opening through the hips. And I don't know who read the email or saw the email yesterday. After class on Monday morning, I went to the gym and tried to lift weights. I could do it a couple of times a week. And my back was so pinchy, honestly, just from driving excessively over the weekend. So I'm going to focus on really opening the hips to create some length in the low back. Then you're going to cross one leg over the other, just rock up towards the seat, sit nice and tall with the legs crossed, and just take your right hand out to the side, reach the left arm up to the sky. Take a side bend over to the right. So just push your left seat bone down as you reach that right arm up and over. Try not to let the body round forwards. You want to think about fanning open that left side of the rib cage. So trying to expand and open through that left side body. One more breath. And then bring it back up. Take your left hand down, reach your right arm up, and then lean over to the left side. So now really trying to open that side of the ridge, not leaning forwards. Almost this idea of trying to lean back. You won't back. It will just bring you upright. And then come all the way up to center. Interlace the hands behind the lower back. Release across the chest by pulling the hands back. So the fingers are interlaced. I'm trying to stretch the knuckles back behind me. Really open across the collarbone. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. One more breath. And then exhale, let that go. Flip over to your hands and knees. All fours. And breathe in. Just open the chest, look forwards. Cat-cow a couple of times. Exhale, arch and make it active. So pull the waist in, lengthen the arms. Inhale, open the chest. Forwards, gaze forwards. Draw the shoulders back and down. Exhale, arch and round. Pull in through the waist. Two more. Take the body forwards, open the chest. Exhale, arch and round. Take the body forwards, open the chest. Exhale, arch and round, and hold it there. So you're pulling in through the center of the body. Tuck your toes and just stretch back into downward facing dog. So long line through the back of the legs. And I want you to think of pushing into the hands and trying to lengthen the arms. And lift the hips as you do that. So the hips stretch back and up, spine lengthens. There's almost, as we focus on the upper body, the arms, the shoulders, then towards the hips, you almost take the pressure off the lower body, off the legs and the hamstrings. Big breath in here. Big breath out. Take your left foot to the outside of your left hand and rest your right knee down. Release your toes. Now, those left toes, instead of them facing forwards, turn them out to the side. So if you can see that kind of on a clock face, they'd be turned out to 10 o'clock. And then from here, I just want you to draw circles with the hips. So you're just kind of rolling the hips around, trying to create circles or maybe figure of eights. It doesn't matter as long as you feel it's challenging your mobility and moving you into areas that might be a little stiff or tight. So kind of just roll with that, whichever way you feel works. Big circles, small circles. Maybe you change the direction every time, or you want to do a couple and then change over. I don't know if you can hear it, but my laptop is whirring so badly. It sounds like it's about to take off. So if I go all of a sudden, it's because my laptop's busted. Okay, and then bring it back. Just walk that left foot in now, so it's on the mat and the toes face forwards. Reach both arms up to the sky. Big stretch through that right thigh. Tuck the tailbone under, pull the waist in, and then slowly start to move forwards into that right hip. Here for 5. Big breath in, exhale 4. Big breath 3. Exhale 2. Exhale. Last one. And exhale, bring both hands down, tuck the back toes, and now straighten that back leg so the back knee lifts off the floor. And really engage that right thigh. So I'm trying to pull that right thigh up. My right thigh is super strong. And come forwards on your toes. Instead of stretching all the way back, I want you to pull forwards through that. Rise up to your fingertips and look forwards more. So you open the chest. Try not to just throw the head back. Think about sending the chest forwards. 3, 2. So it should be quite an active stretch through that right thigh. 1. Slowly rest. Place the hands flat and take your left knee back next to your right knee. Tuck the toes and stretch back into downward facing dog. Big inhale. Big exhale. So imagine that your hands are glued to the floor, they can't move, and then someone's going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling. So your spine will lengthen. Take your right foot, step it to the outside of your right hand, rest that back down, release your back toes, and then same circles, just on the other side. Just going to change my laptop is currently going off data. I'm going to change it onto Wi-Fi and see if it'll stop whirring, because I'm slightly concerned it's going to overheat. So if you just keep sticks, and if I go, I'll be right back. Let's see if this helps. It does not usually make that sound. Okay. Well, you're still with me, so let's see if that stops in a minute. Okay. A couple more circles. And then stillness. Walk that right foot back into the center and lift your arms up to the sky. Big breath. Tuck your tailbone. Engage that left glute. So squeeze the left glute and then take the left hip forwards. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. So on the inhale, almost this chance to try and lift the upper body, and then as you exhale, you're trying to move forwards into the hips. So inhale, think about lifting, and then exhale, go forwards. Bring the hands down to the inside. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee off the floor so the leg is straight, and then instead of stretching back like I am now with my heel, pull yourself forwards on the toes and rise to your fingertips. So it's stronger through that back leg. Gaze just beyond the top of your mat. Open the chest. Try and really lengthen through that left thigh. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1. Slowly rest that back knee down. Point the back toes and take your right knee back next to your left knee. Back into downward facing. So just close the eyes for a moment. Notice how the front of the hips feel compared to the start of the practice. Hopefully a bit warmer in the body. A bit more space through the front of the thighs. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Whilst that right leg is stretching up to the sky, just give your right ankle a roll around. Push into both hands at the same time. Pull the waist in. And then right knee comes into the chest. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step that right foot forwards. Rise all the way up, high lunge. So lift the arms up to the sky. And then soften that back knee. And again, not stretching so far back on the heel. Try and come further forwards on the toes. So we're really thinking about stretching the sole of the foot and moving that left hip forwards. So really trying to send the left hip forwards, not down, but forwards. So think about driving the hips forwards. At the same time, there's this slight pull back through the right thigh. Big breath in. Big breath out. Take your left hand all the way down to the floor and reach your right arm up to the sky. Twist the chest open to the right side of the room. Opening across the chest, so reach those right fingertips higher. And then your front foot, you're going to spin onto the outside edge. So that right knee falls out to the side. Stretch around this right hip. Try and think about the right side of the waist being long. So try not to be too squashed up here. See if you can send that right knee away and feel this length around the outside of the right hip. And then bring your right hand down. Step back into downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Come forwards to a plank position. Take your feet a little wider, so they're about the edge of the mat. Roll your heels to the left, toes to the right, and reach your right arm up to the sky. So strong through the left side of the body. Keep that left hip lifted. Reach your right fingertips higher. Pull in through the waist. Lift for 3. Reach through the fingertips, 2. And 1, take it back into downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Take your left leg up to the sky, lifting that left heel high. And then when you're at the top of your movement, you're just going to roll the left ankle. Take the pressure out of that left ankle joint. Pushing into both hands. Pull the left knee into the chest. Step your left foot forwards. Rise all the way up. Reach the arms to the sky. And then slightly soften the bend in that back knee. So you see, I'm not trying to stretch that hip back. I'm trying to pull the hip forwards. And at the same time, almost pull the left thigh back. I know that's a lot to think about. I give you a lot to think about. But if you just pick up some of the cues, then that's great. Lift the chest. And then move the hips forwards. Lift the chest. And move the hips forwards. Take your right hand down to the floor. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Opening your chest to the left side of the room. Reaching your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Your left foot is going to slightly spin out and your left knee stretches away from you. So you feel this lengthening, this almost a pull around the outside of the left hip. It can be quite strong depending how the hips feel. It might be quite tight. Breathe here, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring that left hand down. Step back into downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Widen your feet. Come forwards to your plank position. And then heels to the right, this time toes to the left. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Keep that right side waist nice and tight. So trying to shorten the right side of the waist. Lift from that right side. Push into your right hand. 2, 1. Bring your right hand down. And back into downward facing dog. Now turn your toes out so you have this V shape through the feet. And you're going to walk your hands in a good foot or so. And then bend into the knees and hover all the way to the back of your mat. Relax the head. So you have this kind of like a frog-like shape at the back of the mat. Just rock your hips from side to side. Really trying to stretch back into that low, deep squat. And then walk it back into downward facing dog. Hands push down, feet, heels stretch away, waist pulls in. So you've got this support, this strong corset around the center of the body. And then bend your knees. Slowly walk your feet in towards the hands. And from there, relax the head, neck, shoulders. Hold opposite elbows, almost like you're pulling the elbows down. Let that traction the spine. So let that pull the body weight forwards. And then release the hands. Pull the waist in and slowly roll up. Navel to spine. Really super slow. Reach your arms up to the sky, big breath in. Take your right hand, hold around your left wrist. You can't see, it's cropped my head off. And lean over to the right. So stretch out through that left side of the body. So pull your left hand up and over. And as you're pulling, really try and push. So if you just pull, you'll fall. But if you push as well, then you'll balance out that stretch. So really open through the left side. Lift back up through center and switch it to the other side. So left hand around your right wrist, reach up and side bend over to the other side. So pull the hands over and push your hips. And slowly come back up. Fold the body all the way down, hands to the floor. Relax the head. Walk your hands out and step back into downward facing dog.
Try and relax the neck and soften the jaw. So you don't need to hold tension there. Let the jaw be soft. Pull in around the waist. Take your left leg up to the sky. Lift that left leg high. Bring your left knee into the chest and step that left foot forwards. Turn your right toes out, warrior two. Arms come up and out. Big wide reach across the arms. Sit lower into that left thigh. It might mean you need to rearrange the feet. So you might need to go further forwards with that left foot, kind of trying to get that left knee over left ankle. Don't worry if it's not perfectly there, but that's the intention. Lift that front heel and see if you can go lower. So really find that inner thigh stretch. If it gets too much, rest the heel. If it's okay, we're there for 3. Pull in through the inner thighs, 2, 1. Rest your front heel, straighten both legs. Walk your back foot in once or twice, so just shorten the stance. Reach from your left hip, lengthen. Hold it there, so hold that reach before you come down. Take your right arm up and over like you're holding a beach ball overhead. So your waist is working, you're super strong through the side of the body. And then take the arms out wide, so your left hand comes down to the shin and your right arm comes up to the sky. Pull the arms apart. So really expand across the chest. Think about how much space you can create with the arms, how much you can lift through those right fingertips. Can you lean your right shoulder and your right hip back? And then bend your front knee. Come back to warrior two. You'll probably need to then take the legs wider again, so they come back into your warrior two. Pull in through the waist. Take your left hand down to the inside of your left foot. You can be on fingertips if you like, or hand flat, your choice. Right arm, big rotations. So really open all the way through that right shoulder. 2 more. 1. And 2. Then place that right hand to the top of your mat. Turn and rest your right knee. So we're there, either hands are down, or if you would like, you can come to your elbows. Totally your choice, hands or elbows. Point your back toes, so relax that back ankle. And then again, what you can do if you like, I'm just going to lift so you can see, but you can stay down. You can, if you like, let that front foot fall out to the side. So you can't take my body out of the way, but you can let that knee go out to the side if you like, or a bit more of a release into the outside of the hip. Just relax the head, close the eyes. Take 3 long, easy breaths. So again, breaths that don't demand you to clench or tighten around the neck. No strain. Just an easy breath. One more. And then slowly rise back up to your hands. Keep your right knee down. Take your left leg all the way to the back of your yoga mat. Rest the foot. And then reach your left arm up to the sky. And take that left arm overhead so you have a really long side body stretch. Imagine in that left hand you've got a weight and it's pulling the hand up and over, or maybe you're like holding onto a rope or something that you can really traction against. So you feel that length through the left side. And then come back to all fours, hands and knees. I'm going to do a slightly kind of different variation of cat-cow. So we just stretched out that left side of the body. So take your left leg back into space. So just reach the left leg back behind you. You might have to look for the first couple of times. And then you're going to take it a couple of feet over to the right. So it's coming across the back of my mat. So there's now this length through the left side of my body. I inhale here. Exhale, bring that left knee and squeeze it to the left tricep. Inhale, left foot comes across and over to the right side of the room. And then exhale and squeeze the knee to the tricep. Inhale, over to the right. Exhale, bring it to the left. One more. And hold it at the tricep. So there's a connection. I'm squeezing the knee to my arm. 5. So that left side body is working. 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your left knee down. Tuck your toes. Stretch back into downward facing dog. And just notice the difference between both sides of the waist, how that feels. Stay where you are. I'm just going to spin around so I can see you better. Keep pushing into the hands. Keep lifting up through the hips. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Sweep your right leg up to the sky. Now bring your right knee into the chest and hold for 5. Pull the waist in. 4. Lift the knee into the chest. 3, 2, 1. Step that right foot forwards. Turn your left toes out. Warrior 2. So windmill open. Wide through the arms. Bend into that right knee. Try and go a little lower. And just watch as you go lower that you don't collapse in on this back foot. So keep pushing through the outside edge of your left foot. Lift your right heel and see if you can go lower. If it gets too much, rest it, but try and hold it. 3. Reach the arms out wide. 2, 1. Land that heel, straighten the right leg. Shuffle your back foot in a couple of times. And then reach forward, so you're stretching those right fingertips to the top of the room, and your left arm comes up and over, so it's all side body strength. Hold it there. Reach further away, and then take the arms out into a T shape. Rest your right hand, lift your left arm up. Lean your left hip back. So try not to let the body come forwards, which is what it wants to do. Try and lean back. Open the chest wider. Pull up through the thighs and push down through the feet. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Bend again into that right knee. Come back into warrior 2. So it might mean have to take the legs a bit wider again. Right hand inside or to fingertips. Left arm up and over. 5 big rotations. 1. All the way up and over. 2. Make them slow. Really feel that stretch and that space through the shoulder and the chest. Last 2. Last 1. You're going to rest that left hand to the floor. Turn and rest your left knee as well. And then from there, you might stay on your hands or you come down to your elbows. And if you like, you can let that right knee fall out to the side or hug it in. It's your choice. It's falling out to the side, a little bit more work into the outside of the hip. If you want to keep the knee upright, more work on the inner thigh. Relax the back of the head. Easy breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more breath. Exhale, rise up to your hands and take your right leg all the way to the back of your yoga mat. You can readjust a little if you like, if spacing isn't quite right. Reach that right arm up to the sky and then take that right arm overhead. So there is this long stretch through that right side of the body. Imagine someone's pulling that right hand all the way to the top of your yoga mat. There's this real stretch. Opening through the right side. And then slowly bring that right hand down to all fours. So just rest your right knee. And then we go again with that slight variation. So your right leg kicks back and then you take it over to the left. So there's this extension through the right side of the body. Inhale, exhale, round, bring that right knee, tap the right tricep. So there's a squeeze of the right side waist. Inhale, stretch over to the left side of your yoga mat. Exhale, knee to tricep and squeeze. Inhale over. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale over. Exhale, squeeze. Last one. We bring this one in and we hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step both knees back. Take them wide. Toes point back together. Stretch all the way into a child's pose. Rest your forehead to the floor. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Relax the elbows down. So if that means you need to bring the hands closer, then bring the hands closer so you can really soften across the upper back, down into the forearms, through the hands. Soft in the jaw. Breathe in. And breathe out. Big breath in. Big breath out. Push your hands down, rise on up, find all fours. Tuck your toes, take it back into downward facing dog. And again, we'll turn the feet out so we have that V shape at the bottom of the yoga mat. Walk your hands back slightly closer, bend into the knees, come all the way back, relax the head. Just sway the hips side to side maybe, or just stay in that stretch. Really nice chance to lengthen through the lower back. And then walk it back into your downward facing dog. Right leg goes up to the sky, lift it high. Right knee comes into the chest, step that right foot forwards. Keep your hands down, but just reach them a bit further forward. So you have this big triangle from the right toes to both hands. Push into the right leg, lift the left leg back and up. So you're here in your balance. Crown of the head reaches forwards and your left toes stretch back. Keep just your right fingertips or your right hand down. Take your left hand to the left hip and slowly start to open the body so it faces the left side of the room. And maybe reach your left arm up to the sky as well, or you keep that left hand on the left hip. Just try and think about how much length you can have through both legs and into the side of the waist. Particularly from that right hip under the side of the body to the right shoulder. So try not to round there. Try and lift. Okay, then slowly both hands down, both feet step together. Squeezing the inner ankles together, bend the knees and rise into your chair. Reach the arms up. Pull the belly in. So wrap the obliques, wrap the waist in from the side so it's strong and supportive. Squeeze the knees together. And feel the shoulders work as you try and take the hands further back. Stand all the way up, big breath. And exhale, rest the arms down by the side. Try and relax and soften the shoulders. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Take your left ankle, I'll turn so you can see, left ankle on your right thigh. Hands into prayer. And you're going to sit. So sit down into your hips. Might be quite tight. And you're holding it here. If you can, come all the way forwards. Bring your hands down and bow your head in. It's going to make it easier in the sense you're not having to worry about the balance so much, a lot harder in terms of the tension and the stress around the hips. So if you can get down, it's a nice way to go deeper. And if not, you're just staying upright. Whether you're down or upright, that left knee, you can see we're trying to send it down and trying to bend into both knees. So that right knee as well. Head is heavy. And then slowly bring that all the way up. Take your time. And place the foot down. Once it gets down, just give both legs a shake out. And fold the body forward. So rest your hands down to the floor. Push them down. Step back into downward facing dog. Pull the waist in. Push through the hands. So think about the upper body rather than the hamstrings for a moment. Push into the hands. Lift back up through the shoulders, the spine, the hips. And then your left leg goes up to the sky. Lifting that left leg. Bringing your left knee in, step the left foot forwards, hands stay down on the ground, maybe they go a bit further forwards. Push into your left foot, lift that right leg. So you're lengthening the right leg back, left fingertips stay down, right hand to right hip. Slowly open the right hip is your first option, and you can just stay there. If you fall, just come back in. Think about length through both legs, across the arms, maybe as you reach the right arm up to the sky. Length through the side of the waist, in particular that left side. And then slowly your hand comes down. Feet step together. Inner ankles together, knees together, squeeze, bend the knees. Reach the arms up to the sky, into your chair. Pulling in through the waist. Lengthening through the arms, and then rise to stand. Relax, arms down by the side. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Other side, so you're going to go right ankle on your left thigh, hands into prayer, and slowly lower down. So slowly bend into the knees. Come all the way down, either into your deepest squat that you can manage with your balance, or you're bringing the hands down and trying to fold the body forwards. So you can almost use the floor to help you rest, bend more into that left knee and really emphasize trying to send that right knee down. Breathe here. Okay, and then we're going to slowly rise up. Slowly, slowly. Shake the legs out. Reach both arms up to the sky. Big breath. Bend the knees. Fold all the way forwards. Take the hands down. Relax the head. Shake it out. Nod yes. Side to side no. So there is no tension in the back of the neck or the shoulders. Push into the hands and stretch back into downward facing dog. Coming into pigeon, but don't rush it. Really try and listen to the cues and see if you can get really into the stretch. So bring your left knee to your left wrist and slide that shin across the mat. So it doesn't have to cut across the mat. It doesn't have to come all the way up the foot. Just make sure that left knee is far enough over to the left side. So it's almost, I've only got like an inch of my mat left between my knee and the edge. Walk your right knee back a little, point the right toes. And then we'll start by coming up to the fingertips and lifting your chest forwards. As you lift your chest forwards, try and pull your left hip back and your right hip forward. So trying to send that left hip back and almost trying to pull my right thigh forwards. And then slowly fold. Relax the head.
If this is painful, if it is too much, then lie onto your back and thread the needle, because it is a lot of compression on the knee and I don't want you to force it if you're not quite sure what's going on. So let that right hip draw forwards, soften through the shoulders, heavy through the upper body, and just easy with the breath. Each time you exhale, maybe thinking, can you let go slightly around that left hip? So breathe in, breathe out, can you release? Breathe in, breathe out, can you slightly release? And as you release, you're going to feel that right hip come further forwards and down. 3. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 1. Exhale. Rise up to your hands and just push your hands down. Take yourself back into downward facing dog. Don't rush back. So slowly let that left leg extend again. So don't force it straight back into extension. Have a bit of a sway through the hips, a bit of a pedal. And then you're going to go right hand side. So your right knee comes into your right wrist. Lie that shin across the mat. Stretch your left leg back. Release the toes. Rise up to your fingertips. Think about trying to pull that left hip forwards. So the long leg, you're trying to pull it forwards with you. And the right hip, you're trying to draw back. What normally happens is we're a little bit over to the left. So basically, I want you to bring that pelvis so it faces forwards. And then you slowly go down. Rest the body weight. So really do try and let that left hip pull forwards. So that you're not just leaning over to the right, it's an even distribution of weight coming down. Breathe in and out. And maybe this time use that exhale to try and soften around the right hip. Or maybe to soften around the shoulders. Or be holding tension in different areas. Take 3 more breaths. And then really slowly, you don't need to go back to downward facing dog this time. You can just roll your body weight over to your right hip and come all the way up. So bring that left foot forwards. Take the soles of your feet together, knees out wide, so you have this big diamond shape. So plenty of space between your hips and your body. Right, we do this a couple of times, but not with the feet. So what I want you to do is have your heels together. As you inhale, think about pulling the toes out. So they're not flat. You pull them out as you inhale, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, relax the feet round the spine. So inhale, lift the chest, pull the toes out. Exhale, round the spine, relax the feet. I'll just go sideways so you can see as well. Inhale, lift the chest, toes pull back, chest opens, shoulders working. Exhale, relax the feet round the spine. Last one, lift, engage from the feet all the way down around the backs of the legs, up through the spine, and then round and relax. Take your hands to the outside of the thighs, close the gap between the knees, Make sure you have space back behind you. So walk the feet forwards, bring yourself forwards, reach the arms out, and then slowly roll down through the spine, all the way into your mat. Take the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, stretch the knuckles away, lengthen both legs out. Take them as far as you can. And then bring the right knee into the chest. Hug that right knee in. Just going to go a slight rock from side to side. And then right arm falls out. Left hand pulls that knee all the way over to the left. So you get a big stretch through the spine. You can look back to the right wrist if you like. So you take that twist all the way up into the neck. Try and pull that right shoulder back. Long stretch through the right side of the body. Big breath in. Big breath out. In and out. Slowly come back through center. Hug that right knee into the chest and then take it out wider so it's out to the right side of the body. Lift the foot towards the sky, half happy baby. So reach for your right foot or your right ankle if that's more accessible. And you're just going to try and take that right knee out to the side. So left side is totally relaxed. Just half of a happy baby. Really try and compress that right thigh down. And then slowly let that go. Take your right leg out. Bring your left knee in, maybe noticing the difference there as you do that swap over. Pull that left knee into the chest. And then take your left arm out with the right hand. Pull the knee across the body into your twist. So you are really trying to sink down through that left shoulder. It's not going to, the whole shoulder probably isn't going to touch the floor, but again, it's just the intention. That's all yoga is. It doesn't really matter if you get there. It's just the thought and the intention. It's what's going to make you feel it or receive the benefits. And then you bring it back and that left knee goes to the outside of the body and the left foot kicks up to the sky. You hold either the foot or the ankle and you try and pull that left thigh down and try and relax the right foot. So if the right foot is holding on, really try and soften that right leg. And you're trying to pull that right thigh out. Breathe here. And then bring it back in. Bring the right knee in as well. Take a full happy baby. So just both feet out. Have a sway, rock from side to side. You might prefer to be still. You decide your practice. And then just let the soles of the feet touch down to the floor. Let your knees fall out as they did at the start. Place your hands onto the belly. Take a big breath in, feel the belly rise. And a big breath out as your whole body relaxes, feel the belly fall. Big breath in, feel that expansion. Big breath out, let it retract. Big breath in. Big breath out. Stay there, just relaxing. If you feel it's too much through the hips to hold this, then stretch your legs out. Stay there lying heavy through the back of the body. So you're trying to really sink the body down into the yoga mat and soften across the shoulders with the eyes the eyes relaxed around the eyes, the forehead, through the jaw, so you're not stressing or adding tension where you don't need to be. Totally relaxed. Soft breaths. And just coming back to that same slow state that we found at the start of practice. And noticing physically how the body feels different. And acknowledging that because you did that with your own breath, your own movement, your own intention. And just slowly let the breath get deeper, not forced, not strained, but just a little bigger into the chest, maybe louder. And you feel the body get a bit warmer. And just if your knees are still out to the side, just sweep your hands around, pick up the knees and pull them into the chest. If the legs are long, then pull them into this small ball shape. So you're squeezing the knees in as you lie there on the floor, hugging yourself in. And in some way, you're just going to rock up to a seat. Keep the eyes closed. Try not to open them just yet. Try and keep the face, the eyes, the shoulders, the neck, all relaxed as you sit there nice and tall. Space across the collarbones. And take a big breath in. And a big breath out. And bring your hands into Prayer Heart Center. Thank yourself for making the time to come and practice this evening. Have a lovely rest of your evening. I will see you bright and early